Okay. All right. So, hello, good evening, my dear students. I hope that I'm audible, and I welcome you all to this session at Unacademy. Now, this is the chemistry session, and the chapter you all might be already seeing. It is alloys. Okay. So, आज की क्लास में हम लोग पढ़ने वाले हैं about the alloys. We are going to study what are alloys, different properties, different types of alloys. So, basically in detail हम लोग alloys के बारे में पढ़ने वाले हैं in this session, and I hope that you already have got a bit of information about alloys, but if not, then no worries, we are here. Talking about myself, I have completed my engineering in electronics and communication. I'm a chemistry educator at Unacademy, and today we are going to study about metallurgy's one of the very important topic, that is alloy. Now, students, before beginning, I would like to tell you that if you need any help in your topics, or if you need the PDF of the session, etc., what you can do is you can join us. Okay, just give me 1 second. Yeah, you can join us on the Telegram. Okay, so this the link of the channel will be provided to you. Now, why to join the Telegram? Because here you will be staying updated with all the ongoing offers, all the things that are going on at Unacademy, and hence you can take your subscriptions at very nominal prices. Okay, so chaliye, let us get started with the topic alloys. Now, students, let us take a very simple example. We all have been using the metals since a long time, right? We require metal for day-to-day different uses. Okay, now between the metals, where is this alloy thing came up from? Let us suppose, I hope that everyone uh, would have seen different type of metals. Okay, but there are metals, for example, if I talk about different substances such as stainless steel, the utensils normally which we use, the gold, etc. Right? Now, if I talk about the gold, let's say a very simple example. Okay, the gold, it is normally used to make the ornaments, right? But if I say that the ornaments you are having are not of 100% pure gold, now what does that mean? Students, if I talk about pure gold, it is so soft that it cannot be used to make the ornaments. जो हमारा 100% प्योर गोल्ड होता है वो ना काफी सॉफ्ट होता है, which cannot be used to make the ornaments. Okay, they would just break. तो हम लोग ना इसमें कुछ मिक्स करते हैं, a bit of different metal, or maybe it could be a non metal also. Okay, तो ये जो मिक्स करने के बाद हमारे पास जो सब्सटेंस होता है, it is known as alloy. Correct. So how can we define an alloy? It is a homogeneous mixture. I hope homogeneous everyone knows. The word homogeneous means it is having same phase. Okay, there are no different phases visible. So alloy, it is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals. Okay, or metal and a non-metal. Okay, so alloy can be a mixture of either metals, or it could also contain a bit of non-metal. अभी बात आती है कि why. Okay, now if I talk about any alloy, its properties will be completely different from the properties of the constituent metals or non-metals or elements. Okay, so if I talk about gold, as we right now we're taking the example. Okay, तो gold as I told you it is very soft है ना, काफी ज्यादा soft होता है, तो इसको हम लोग normally ornaments में नहीं use कर सकते since it is very delicate. तो हम लोग इसमें क्या करेंगे, we just mix a bit of copper. ठीक है, तो ये कॉपर यूज करने से क्या होता है ना, द स्ट्रेंथ इंक्रीजेस एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी कैन यूज इट इन द ornament making. Okay, so not only gold, there are different elements. Okay, जिसका हम लोगों को because of their certain uses हम लोगों को ना properties में थोड़ा सा change लाने का जरूरत होता है. We need to alter the properties to a bit of extent, और इसीलिए we are mixing it with either a metallic or with a non-metallic element, and that is what is alloy. Okay, now next important thing that you should be knowing over here is amalgam. I'm very sure all of you might have at some point heard about this word. अभी ये होता क्या है amalgam? Now students, amalgam is a kind of alloy जहाँ पर एक metal हमारा fix रहता है. It is mercury. Okay, so it is a mixture, or we can also call it as an alloy of mercury with another metal. Okay, now if I talk about a common use, if any one of you has ever gone to a dentist, okay, so sometimes dental amalgam is used. Okay, and what is it? Now here we are having mercury plus we are having silver tin alloy. Okay, so why is it called an amalgam? Because यहाँ पर जो base metal है, it is mercury. Okay, now there is one question, so just let me know in the chat box if you know the answer to this question. And your question of the day is, why is mercury stored in iron bottles? So this is your question for the day. Okay, and please do let me know if you know what is the reason behind storing mercury in the iron bottles. Okay, now students, we know what is an alloy, but what is the reason? Let us discuss the reasons to make the alloy in detail. Okay, so let's go for the purpose. Now students, basically alloy बनाने का सबसे बड़ा reason है that we need a change in the property of the elements. Just a second. Yeah, so we need to change the properties of the elements. Okay, तो let's suppose हमें resistance कम चाहिए या ज़्यादा चाहिए, हमें look change करना है, हमें strength change करनी है, right? So these are the different properties जिसे हमें meet करना होता है, and that is why we are making the alloys. Okay, let us take the case of iron. Now, suppose we want to increase the strength of the iron. What are we going to do? We are going to make it steel. Okay, so iron से steel तक जाने में what is happening? The strength, it is increasing. Now how to form the steel? We are mixing some other metals or a non-metal with iron. Okay, and इससे हो क्या रहा है? जो properties है हमारे iron की उसमें changes आ रहे हैं, right? Second, if I talk about brass. Okay, now brass, it is an alloy of copper and zinc. Okay, and it is stronger than individual copper or zinc. So basically क्या हो रहा है? Copper and zinc को मिला करके we are turning it into a thing or a substance which is stronger than individual copper or zinc. Okay, next if I talk about nichrome. Nichrome wires, you might have heard of it. Okay, तो ये जो है, it is an alloy of nickel, ferrous and chromium, and it is more resistant to the electricity. Okay, so you can see कि जो properties है उसमें कुछ ना कुछ there is a change coming up. Okay, if I talk about El-Nico, now this is very easy to remember. It consists of aluminium, nickel, and cobalt. Okay, and this is so strong that it can lift almost 60 times its weight. Okay, so the strength here is increased. Okay, next if I talk about amalgam, sodium amalgam. Okay, now amalgam, as you know, it is a mixture of mercury, alloy of mercury. So sodium amalgam, since sodium is very reactive, तो हम लोग क्या use करते हैं? Sodium amalgam, so that the reactivity gets decreased. Okay, तो basic अगर हम लोग purpose की बात करें, तो what is the main purpose of alloying? It is to improve the specific usefulness of the element. Okay, now this becomes our main reason for alloying. ओके, चाहे कोई भी एलिमेंट हो, ओके, उसका अपना पर्टिकुलर रीजन अलग हो सकता है, बट ओवरऑल द रीजन इज दैट वी आर अचीविंग पर्टिकुलर गोल्स. फॉर एग्जांपल स्ट्रेंथ इंक्रीज कर रहे हो, लुक मॉडिफाई कर रहे हो, रिएक्टिविटी चेंज कर रहे हो, राइट, बट वी आर गोइंग टू change it in order to make it a bit more useful. Okay, so now let's look out at the reasons. The first reason is if we want to change the appearance. Okay, let's suppose we want to change the color or we want to change the appearance. So to modify appearance. Now in this case, let us take one of the example. The example is aluminium bronze. अभी क्या होता है aluminium bronze? Okay, just a second. It is an alloy which is made up of aluminium plus copper. Okay, and the look it gives, it is of gold. Okay, so it is having this beautiful bright yellow color which makes it look like a gold. Okay, so first thing gold nahi hai, second thing gold jaisa look mil raha hai, so it is an alloy. Okay, that is fulfilling the purpose of changing the appearance. Next is to modify chemical reactivity. अभी chemical reactivity, let us suppose हमें किसी element का if it is reacting very fast, we need the reaction to slow down a bit, or maybe it is reacting very slow, so we want to increase the reaction a bit. Okay, तो इस case में we can use the alloy. Okay, so right now we discussed sodium amalgam, which is an alloy of sodium plus mercury. So sodium, an alkali metal, it is very, very reactive. Okay, and when it is mixed with mercury, its reactivity, it decreases. Okay, so here the purpose of alloying is salt. And what is the purpose? To change the chemical reactivity. Now, the third one is to modify casting ability. Okay, now here we can take the example of type metal. Okay, now type metal, it is made up of lead, tin and stibbium. Okay, so what is happening over here? जैसे ही ये solidify होता है, it expands itself. Okay, and इसीलिए it is very easy for us to cast using type metal. So it expands on solidification. and therefore it is easy to cast. This is one of the reason for alloying. Next is, for example, if the melting point or boiling point needs to be changed. So it could be to lower the melting point. Okay, so for that we are using solder. Okay, so solder, what is it made up of? It is made up of lead and tin. Okay, now because the melting point is low here, it can easily be used for soldering purposes. Okay, next is to increase the hardness or the strength. Now in this case we can use brass. So brass, it is an alloy of copper and zinc. Okay, and it is harder than the copper and zinc. So here what is happening? The hardness, it is increasing, the strength, it is increasing. Okay, and one more reason could be to make it more resistant to electricity. Okay, so to increase the resistance. तो यहाँ पर we can use nichrome wire, which is made up of nickel, ferrous and chromium. Okay, and what is the use? It is resistant to electricity. Okay, as compared to the constituent elements. Okay, so these are some of the reasons, or these are some of the purposes why are we going for alloying methods. Okay, तो रीजन तो हम लोगों ने देख लिया. नाउ हाउ टू गो फॉर एलॉइंग. ओके, कैसे हम लोग एलॉइज को फॉर्म कर सकते हैं. सो द मेथड, the very first is we can take the elements and we can fuse them together. Okay, so we can fuse the metals together. Okay, जैसे कि if I talk about brass, brass कैसे बनेगा? We are just taking the zinc and copper, we are melting it, and then what happens is it gets melted and it forms the alloy. Next, by compressing finely divided metals. ओके, तो कुछ मेटल्स को बहुत ही अच्छे से डिवाइड करके, ओके, and what are we doing? We are compressing it, we are giving the pressure, and what happens? The alloy is formed. So this is one of the method. Okay, so these are two most common used methods for alloying. Okay, and now let us talk about some of the very common alloys of some elements. Okay, if I talk about aluminium, the very common alloys are duralumin and magnesium. So let's study about duralumin first. This consists of 95% of aluminium, a small quantity about 4% of copper, and a little bit of manganese and magnesium. Okay, so a huge quantity of aluminium and comparatively copper. Okay, now what is the property of duralumin? So it is very lightweight first of all, and at the same time it is very hard. The strength ज़्यादा है और weight कम है. Okay, next it is very resistant to corrosion. It doesn't even corrode easily. Okay, it is ductile, that means it could be drawn into the wires, it could be beaten into sheets. Okay, so now students, over here if I talk about duralumin, एल्यूमिनियम की वजह से इसका लाइट वेट रहता है, मैग्नीशियम की वजह से इसमें स्ट्रेंथ आ गई है. ओके, एंड इट इज आल्सो लाइट वेट एंड इट कैन रेजिस्ट द करोजन. ओके, तो डिफरेंट एलिमेंट्स की वजह से डिफरेंट प्रॉपर्टीज आ गई है, एंड दैट इज व्हाई it has got various uses, such as it is used in the bodies of aircrafts. Okay, of course we need very light and strong. substance for that. It is used to form light tools. It is used in pressure cookers. It is used to make some scientific instruments, etc. Okay, next let's talk about magnesium. Now again, magnesium, it is made up of almost 90 to 95% of aluminium, and the other 10 to 5% is magnesium. Same properties, it resists corrosion, it is lightweight, and it is strong at the same time. So again, it has got similar uses, such as it is used in the aircrafts, it is used for scientific instruments, it is used for light tools, some of the household appliances, etc. Okay, so more or less both are having similar uses. Next, let's talk about the alloys of iron. The very famous is stainless steel. Now, stainless steel, it is made up of 73% of iron, then 18% it consists of chromium, nickel is 8%, and 1% it is carbon. So the hardness, it is due to carbon. Okay, again, the properties which make it special and different from iron, it is very resistant to corrosion, unlike iron. Okay, next it has luster. Okay, so it's used in the ornamental pieces, it is used in the cutlery, etc. Okay, then it is again resistant to the acids and alkalis. Okay, now over here, what is the role of the different elements? Here, the carbon, it is responsible for providing the hardness. Okay, the nickel and chromium, they are responsible for providing the luster. Okay, so here iron, it has changed into the stainless steel to be used in various uses such as utensils, cutlery, surgical instruments, ornaments, etc. So from iron to an alloy, that is stainless steel, it has found various uses. Next is manganese steel. Of course, it would contain iron, carbon, and manganese. Okay, so it is very hard. Okay, it is durable and it is very hard. So that is why it is used in the armor plates. It is used in the safes and rock drills. Okay, so in the armor plates, if I talk about the very, or I would say the main property, the major property would be how tough it is. Okay, so that is why this is the most suitable alloy for forming or for making the armor plates. Okay, and next is tungsten steel. So again, a good quantity or a major percentage of iron. Then we have tungsten, and then we have carbon. So carbon, basically it is used to provide the hardness. Okay, again, the major property of, or I would say the main property of it is hardness, and that is why it is used to form the cutting tools, okay, in the high speed lab machines. Okay, so this is a common alloy. Okay, next let's talk about brass. So brass, it is an alloy of copper and zinc with almost 60 to 70% of copper and 40 to 30% of zinc. Brass, it is highly malleable, it is ductile, so could be beaten into wires and sheets. Then we can cast it easily, okay, and also it can resist the corrosion. So that is why it is very commonly used in the decorative pieces, the hardwares. Okay, it is used in utensils, it is used in the screws, handles, okay, and various musical instruments, etc. Okay, next is bronze. So bronze consists of copper almost 80%. So a major quantity is of copper, then zinc and tin. Okay, and what is bronze used for? It is because it is again hard. It is resisting corrosion. It can be cast easily. So it is used in again the utensils, the statues, the medals, etc. Bronze medals, right? So these are the uses of some of the common alloys. Okay, now there are actually many alloys, but these are some of the very common alloys which are normally used um, in different fields. Okay, so I hope you understood what are the alloys, why do we form the alloys, what are the uses, and what are the different type of alloys. So if there is any confusion related to any topic of the alloys, please do let me know. And your question of the day was, why is mercury stored in iron bottles? So if you know the answer, please do let me know in the chat boxes. Okay. And we will be meeting in the next class, guys. Just a second. Okay. So we will be meeting in the next class. Till then, you guys keep learning, keep studying, and let's meet in the next class in which we will be taking a bit more important topics and we will be studying about them. Okay, and also students, you can visit the Telegram channel and please download Unacademy's learner app. So from there you can register which class you are in. Okay, you can give your details and you can attend the classes. Now we have two types of classes, and there is a category which is special classes which you can attend for free of cost. So just try it once and I'm sure you will be loving it. Just download an Academy Learner app, go for your class and attend the free classes. Okay. So till we meet the next time, please take care of yourself. Keep studying, keep learning, keep enjoying. Thank you guys. Please take care.